I love the names on this team. They have Sixto Sanchez, and they have my favorite name probably in baseball right now, Jazz Chisholm.
Showing emotion in baseball is terrible and should never be in the game.
It's weird how the dynamic works between sports.
But to win a championship, not only do you need great players on the court, but you need good chemistry, which takes time to develop.
Justin Fields is a all-time talent.
Corey Perry will give some veteran presence to the Canadians.
I feel like Luka will take that next step, and if he can get a three ball consistently around 35%, I feel like they could become a contender.
We can make jokes about you not being in the Super Bowl for 20-something years, but...
What's up, everyone? This is Justin Goldman from the Goalie Guild and Lift the Mask, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Austin and Kevin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by the man, Austin, who has some thoughts on Jurickson Profar.
Yeah, he tested 4 times last year, Kevin. It didn't hit positive on any of them. So really, even though last year was definitely the year that he sparked into the league, it was his best season of his career. Do you think that he was using PEDs last season if he was tested 4 times and tested negative on all of them?
Yeah, so kind of you talked about being tested 4 times. What is the average of getting tested? Or like how many? Because that was my first thought. I was like, oh, that explains his breakout year last year. He was using PEDs. And it wouldn't be the first time, because Tatis had a PEDs issue. But that is weird. He passed them all, and then he didn't pass this one. So
it's randomly
okay.
It's random that so you don't necessarily know what's going to happen or when you're going to get tested.
To me, my logic would be he was most likely using PEDs last year because that was a career.
Okay, well then we have to have the conversation of whether the tests work. If you did it all last year, right, and it failed, the test did not work 4 times. I just find that hard to believe.
Mm-hmm. So, because my question would be, so he didn't use last year and had a career year. Why use now?
To be even better.
Good point. Is it truly random is my question, because you hear kind of in the NFL world how before they stopped testing for marijuana, it was kind of they would give the players a heads up like, hey, you're going to get tested soon. So they would stop smoking weed then.
I'm pretty sure that they're completely random. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I understand. Like, it says completely random, but my question is it truly random? Because you could just check and maybe with
okay. Then here's my question: why did he fail this time?
Because I think after a career year, they're like, hey, maybe we should start testing more and try to surprise them.
But I don't know.
It just makes me suspicious, and I do think it does raise the question of what was he doing last year, and was it all above board?
Well, there's 2 ways to think about it, though, because if you think that he cheated by using PEDs last season, then the test failed 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you wouldn't have doubt about this test if it is positive. But I don't know. I just find it hard to believe that. I don't know the whole science behind how long it stays in your system, how long you're able to test for it after you've taken it. However, I just find it hard to believe that he's prepared for all 4 tests during the year because you don't know how many times you're going to get tested.
Yeah, apparently it says he was tested 8 times, or I'm looking at something.
Maybe he was. I saw something that said he was tested 4 times, but
okay.
Let me see if I can find that out.
He was tested 8 times for PEDs during surprising breakthrough season offensively in 2024. Never. It occurred this offseason. And so if you look at it, it goes, he's like, this is especially painful for anyone that knows me. Then he says, I want to apologize. He said he would never knowingly do anything to cheat it, which I just don't like. What else is he going to say in regards to PEDs? Like, yes, I did take them.
Yeah, I don't know how. Something's off is what I'll say, because if he was positive last year, then however number of tests he did, I just find it hard to believe that he was ready for all of them. Because if he was ready for all of them, I find it hard to believe that he wouldn't be ready for this one. So I'm a little bit confused myself. I could see the argument either way, that he did not use PEDs or he did use PEDs last season. I'd understand both, because it's hard to get away with it once you are in the testing room. But if you're so good at getting away with it, then I don't understand how this time he got found out. So I don't know. I'm kind of split at the moment.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, especially if it was 8 times, and that's more difficult than 4 times. And yeah, that's maybe it says this off season, so maybe he was doing it in the off season. But yeah, how is he not ready for it? It is a confusing situation, and I'd be interested to learn more about PED test, because it does beg the question. Like, you have people like me where I was like, oh, that explains his unexpected year last year, and then his record contract or a big contract for him with the Braves. So if he didn't actually do PEDs, then that kind of raises the question of like how people view it in the history. It was like, oh, he had his career year, then he got suspended 80 games. That does raise the question of, was that really a good year? But yeah, I'm confused as well, because you make good points on both sides of, well, if he knew how to avoid it, how didn't he miss this one? It's just very confusing.
Yeah. I'm not going to make a stance one way or the other whether or not he took PEDs last year. Again, I don't think I have the medical knowledge to know. Again, if he took it last week, would he get 7 days later? Would it still show? Or I don't really know how it works. Like, did he have to just take it? Like, what's the timeline? Because if it's something that stays in your system for like a week, I just find it hard to believe that he would be able to avoid being caught if he did it last season. But if it's only like 12 hours or something crazy like that, then okay, maybe I get it. But I don't really know the science behind it. And I think that would give a clearer picture regarding last season's results, whether they were legitimate or not.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Yeah, I'll change my stance to, it does raise the question. I think it's a valid question to ask him about and wonder about his career year. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.